Hello everyone, I have some Modern Warfare 3 gameplay, and I was thinking about posting some Halo 4, but I kind of didn't have the time and wanted to focus on my studies because I had a test after the day where the game was released. I watched a lot of the videos though, so I kind of have some sort of knowledge with the game, and that kind of made me slow down my excitement, I guess. However, I'll still buy it if I can find the time, but I do want to spend some time with other games. So yeah, it's hard to focus on other games in my personal life. This Call of Duty gameplay, I think it was okay. I didn't do too well. I had some good moments, like there was this moment where I was getting attacked by two guys with no cover, but I managed to kill them both, and it's a pretty exciting part, I have to say. And that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about the gameplay. I wanted to use Call of Duty for this video because I want to talk about first-person shooters and how the industry is just flooding the genre. Since Call of Duty sold like a bajillion copies, everyone's going to make it into a first-person shooter because, well, it sells. Like XCOM and Syndicate, those games aren't even FPS games in their roots, but when I look at them and watch their gameplay from the original, it's so bad. It doesn't really stay true to what the series is all about. Although Metroid Prime is a whole different it's on a whole different level. It actually stays true to the original game, since the Metroid series is all about exploration, and Prime still carries that tradition along. Even when I look back at like early 2012 and The Darkness 2 was just released, and all of a sudden a new Crisis game comes out, and then a Walking Dead FPS game also gets announced later, and I'm like, oh my god, why are there so many FPS games? I really don't know if I can say FPS games are so popular nowadays that every developers are releasing it. I think it's because the genre reached to a point where everyone is aware of the FPS genre, or it could be that gaming is so mainstream nowadays. Back in 1996, there was a lot of first-person shooters, but the two big ones I could think about were Quake and Duke Nukem 3D. It's not because there wasn't a lot of first-person shooters. There was a lot of them. Like I said, I think it's because gaming in general is just so mainstream nowadays that everyone is looking up on the news and keeping everything up to date. Now everyone knows that I am a huge FPS fanatic, but do I feel like that's a good idea? Well, it depends. I feel like there are FPS games that do their thing, like if it's a sequel to a game that was originally a FPS game, then that's reasonable. But if you're gonna just make a game to cater a certain audience because another game sold well, or just make a game that doesn't have any good ideas, then I don't think I can take you seriously. Even back in the days when Doom was popular, I still didn't buy games that were similar to Doom, even though that was a good thing to have, but you had to have another reason to really make me want to buy it and truly enjoy it at the same time. Also, another reason why I love id Software is because they put themselves in a lot of risky situations. Back then, there was no way to figure out what makes a FPS game work so well. They just had to figure it out because they were the creators, essentially. At the end of the day, I don't really feel like FPS games are oversaturated on the market. I just think it's because gaming is so popular nowadays. I mean, I have friends that never played video games back in the 80s or 90s, so yeah, they just started out with Call of Duty, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who, will meet a person like that, because Call of Duty is extremely popular, and there are people that just got an Xbox 360, which is their first console, and it's just a whole generation type of thing, I guess. But that's pretty much it of the video, and share me your thoughts, guys.